some magic.
Yes. Okay.
I had to get my mind right.
Yeah.
But I will say, I wish I had this in my like early teens. There were times where I was, whether it was a family event, a friend event, and I'm like, we're going where? And I'm like, those are times like I wish I like beer, or I wish I partook in other things because I needed some focus and some clarity.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be at this place, but then I always just like, I gotta say this because it always kills me when people go, oh, this new generation is like technology is fooling them. They don't even like talk and look at each other and this and that. They're partially right. But I grew up where if I didn't like where I was, I found a quiet spot in that place. I didn't talk or look at anybody. I didn't have a phone or anything else.
Yeah.
Like,
You would bring a book everywhere.
Yeah. So what's the difference between you bringing a book and the guy bringing a book?
No, but at least you weren't in the corner just like the whole time by yourself. That would be like, he's got a mental issue.
Yes. But so to the people that go, oh, this young generation doesn't know how to talk to people, they just get on their phones. Well, you got a guy like me where phones were relatively new as we were growing up.
Yeah.
So like I said, I had a book in the corner. Like, I don't care about these people. So I'm over here reading about dragons, reading about the spy trying to kill the resident. Right? In my own little world.
Yep.
So what's the difference between me being in the corner with a book and somebody from this new generation being in the corner with their phone? Like, just because I'm with family doesn't mean I get along with family. Just because I'm with friends doesn't mean I get along with all of those friends.
Yeah.
So like, it's okay to have a distraction when you're in uncomfortable situations, but when, and this is one of the real divides I think that's happening on top of classism, racism, politics, is
You forgot sexism.
sexism.
I'm just kidding.
Well, no, that's what it falls into. Because the big thing is like, not ageism, but the age gap.
Yeah.
So we always, well, my generation and your generation. But here's the thing, like, you grew up in a way that you said, I'm going to make it so my kids don't have to go through what I went through. And then now that your kids are adults, you're like, oh, these kids are soft. Well, wasn't that your goal?
Yeah.
To a certain extent. I think that there was people that were like, became helicopter parents. They were scared of seeing their kid fall. They were scared of seeing their kid get hurt. They were there to catch their kid every time they fell.
Yeah.
That's not making their kid have a better life than them. That's making their kids soft. Where they need to fail. They need to know that it's okay to fail. We'll help you up.
Yeah.
Do what you can. Have fun. Do what you need to do. Fall a few times. We'll help you up. But get up on your own a couple times too. I'm not going to keep lifting. I'm not going to catch you every time you fall. But I'm also not going to let you stay on the ground the whole time if you're hurting.
Yes.
You know, so like, I think that's where there's a little bit of a disconnect where like some kids think like, oh, my parents are going to just catch me. So they'll try. Yeah. And they'll fail all the time, but their parents keep catching them before they hit they skin their knee, or they need to skin their knee, bump their elbow, you know, maybe even hit their head a few more times, you know, before they start to be like, hey, I don't know. Analogies by COAD.
Again, that's understandable.
Yeah, because I mean, we grew up in the 90s, like we were born in the 80s, but we mostly grew up in the 90s, early 2000s and stuff like that. And it was like, we got to play outside.
Yeah.
You know, we got to have those friends outside. And then it was like, you know, like the 80s, that was like the whole scare where like the parents, the kids were going missing. So they started like scaring the parents. And I think that's what happens. They scare the parents first, and then they make the parents paranoid. And then that's what slowly changes everything. You know, like, oh, well, I don't want my kids to get polio. You're like, what the heck? That shit's been eradicated since the 50s. Like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you giving them this, and this, or whatever the case, you know? And then, like, there's other things, too. It's like, well, I want them to eat healthy, and I don't want them to eat this, or I don't want them to eat that. And it's like, well, let them try it. If they don't like it, they don't like it. But do what you can, you know, if you're not able to provide those type of things either, you know, like if you're trying to provide for your child and you're gone all day long at work, you know, it's like, I feel like we were pretty lucky with like, you come home from school, your mom was working out of her home.
Yes.
You know, so it was never like you didn't have your mom at home with you. Like you were always like, you could come home, greet her with a hug or something, you know, or like you were able to like help her when she needed you. You know, like sometimes kids, it's the other way around. Like the kids come home and they're like, I had such a bad day. I needed this, this, and this. It's like, I feel like your situation, and I don't know if this is true or not. Like, I'm just assuming, but
Yeah.
you would come home and your mom's like, I got all these kids. Do you mind taking the reins a little bit?
Yeah.
So I could chill and watch a show for 20 minutes or 30 minutes of, and kind of get some relaxation, because I've had kids at my house for 23 out of the 24 hours,
You're not wrong. It was like, like they put some restrictions later. She had to have like a whole, I think, like 3 or 4 hour span. Or, because she needed time to sleep to do this or that. But when she first started, it was 24/8.
So you kind of had the opposite of like a helicopter parent.
Yeah.
You were parented when you were home, but then when you weren't at home, you also were like, I'm afraid to.
I was parented even outside of home.
Okay.
Because like you've met my mom, you see how like outdoors she is.
Yeah.
So I'd be places with my nefarious friends, who are, the ones that up to no good. And trying the herbal remedies before they were legal.
Yeah.
And like I'd be out with them, and somebody goes, "Hey, aren't you Mrs. Such and Such's son?" And I'm like,
"Nope.
Nope, I gotta go." They see me here with you,
and
then she goes, "Well, what were you guys doing?" I either gotta lie to her or tell on you. I'm letting you know.
I'm telling you.
Like the first time.
You're like, snitches get stitches from you guys, but I'll get the shit kicked out of me by my mom. I ain't trying to do that for lying.
Like my first apartment, I got it when I was like 19, and I had some friends over, and I don't remember who got us alcohol, but we had alcohol. We shouldn't have.
Allegedly.
Yeah, we allegedly had the drinks. We should have had Magic Mike.
Oh yeah.
But instead, we had almost had Magic Mike.
That's a different bottle.
That's a can of worms.
Yeah. A different type of worm. Sorry.
I remember.
Too soon.
Sometimes my mom, like, just to see how I was doing, she would like come over to my house, like her and my brothers and sisters would spend the weekend at my house before going back home. And I remember my baby brother like had left some clothes or something there, and his dad was getting them. And so he had to come to my house to get the stuff that was left. And he saw me and my friends, and like when he had walked up, the door was open, and he saw me and my friends, and we were drinking and that. And it was funny because like the next day I was telling my mom all about the event, because me and my mom were very open with each other. I was like, yeah, my friend's over. We had this little party and that. And he didn't see my mom until he brought my brother back. And he was like, you think your son's good at two shooters? I saw him drinking and his friends were smoking in his house and this and that. She goes, yeah. And then he looked like
it's his house.
Yeah. Well, that, and she goes, he told me.
Yeah.
And like most people aren't open with their parents like that. First time I ever had alcohol, my mom knew. First time I was ever drunk, my mom knew. I was like, hey, we tried beer. And she was like, what? And like, I think it surprised her, but I've always felt that.
Yeah.
But I just laugh at that because like I think the how you say helicopter parents, I think it's like the people that don't know how to be open and be a parent are the ones that become helicopter parents, because now they gotta protect them. But like if you can show your child I can let go of the leash, let you run in the yard, as long as you know when to come back to the porch. Yeah, when the lights turn back on. Sheep and call out for help. Yeah. But some people, they want to be that quiet sheep trying to figure it out on their own. That's how they get in trouble. And some people want to be the shepherd with the hook, always stopping the sheep where it goes. And the sheep is going to just run somewhere else to get away from the hook. Very good. That's all that I have to say right now. It's very long. Yeah. No, you're good. I was going to tell you something else too. So like the helicopter parent portion of it. But then there's a difference with like the parents being the friends. There's so many parents that are like trying to be their kid's friend, where it's like, I love your parents, but like you had a good relationship with your mom that way. Yeah. But you never would be like, oh yeah, my mom's my friend. You're like, my mom's my mom. Yes. Like you were friendly with your mom, but you would never be like, yeah, she's my friend. You're like, no, she's my mom. Your mom level, I think, is way higher than a friend. Yeah.
Your mom,
does that make sense?
Your mom can still be your friend or your best friend, but she's your mom first.
Yes.
My mom was my best friend, but she was my mom first.
Where I feel like some of these kids nowadays, their parents are their friend first and not their parent. That's what I meant to say.
hate to say it, but like, me and Little Boom, I think that's why I have all the issues with him.
Yeah.
Because like I'm his brother and his friend first, so he doesn't see me as that parental figure.
Are you really his friend? No, I'm kidding.
Not all the time. Not all the time.
I'm
It's
just
a
joking.
strenuous relationship.
Yeah.
It's like that friend that I'm glad that we only see once.
Yeah.
You know, just friends that
It's your McLovin.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're like, he always asks me for a ride. No, I'm joking. That's the only time. No, I'm just kidding. Where's the key for the house? You're like, when were you here last? Where's your other key? No, sorry.
I won't tell him where that is because he wants to.
Yep.
What happens with that? And I know that sounds selfish, but there have been times when he's had the spare key and I come home and I'm like,
You're like, I'm walking to my other brother's house because he loves me. No, I'm just kidding.
and I will.
He has a key.
Because he has a key, or you know, his wife is home and was like, "Hey, can I sit here till time?"
Yeah, that's
Because
funny.
I can't get in mine.
That's too funny.
Yeah, I literally had to have that happen because like he was so irresponsible. Like in the last 10 years, he's probably had a key every other year.
Jeez.
But he's messed up, and then sometimes like because one time he lost it this time of year, but it started,
Mm.
and then March, April came, the snow melted. He went to the bus stop. He goes, "Hey, look at that!" And I was like, "Yeah, get out to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this up somewhere."
Jeez.
Keys are expensive.
And then, do you guys have anything else you have to say or want to say, or do you want to go into the next segment?
No, I was gonna say because based off what we were talking about, we went into all these different stuff,
Yep.
and I'm starting to think to myself, do you think we experience a lot of the issues that we experience because, for one, people don't tell the truth anymore, or complete the truth, and people also can't take the truth.
Mm.
I think that is like one of the biggest issues of the world that I think all of us have an issue where it's like you kind of struggle to tell somebody the truth because you're like, I don't know, and then also you're worried about how they'll receive that truth and how their reaction could be from it, you know?
Mhm.
So you're kind of, it's like you said, a double-edged sword. So now you're terrified because you
Or
want to
it's a
tell.
padded room. You're like,
Yeah.
here you go. I don't want to hurt you, so just go in there.
Tell me the truth. You
Yeah.
won't get in trouble.
I'll tell you the truth, but it's like you're only going in this room. That's the truth. You're like, the rest of the truth is down the hallway, but there's glass on the floor.
But it's like, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I completely agree with that.
But it's like, for me, it's like, do you think that it's important when you're seeking to help people to just tell them the truth? Regardless of whether it could be something that is a double-edged sword that could cut you and also cut them. But at least it's the truth that needed to be said and needed to be heard.
I feel like do you want to go with that one?
Honestly, that's a case by case basis.
Yeah.
You have to know the person you're telling the truth to.
Yeah.
Because you know, some people, depending on how they were brought up, depending on how like they've developed themselves, can handle the truth better than others. So some people you can be bluntly honest with. And other people you do have to do a little sugarcoat and release the truth in bits. Because everybody's reaction to the truth is not always a good reaction.
Right.
Yeah.
Some people have like the one word that's going around lately, accountability. Not everybody can take accountability.
Yeah.
So
I thought you were gonna say no cap. I'm like, I still don't know what that means. I'm not wearing hats. No.
I mean, maybe more this time of year because it gets cold and thick. But accountability though. Some people don't know how to take accountability. So when you make them realize that the situation they're going through is their fault, they have a bad reaction. Now you're the enemy. You were supposed to just agree with me. I want a friend that tells me the truth, but you told me the real truth.
Yeah.
I want the people that'll tell me I have to.
Yeah.
So you got to know your audience.
I think if we look at it, see, like, even the people in control, like, let's just say our government, hypothetically, or whatever, let's just say, there's probably truths that they could tell us that are blunt, honest, and real, but they refuse to tell us because of the reaction that we could, like, elicit, or they could elicit.
And I think and that's the part too where it's like they're telling the truth. They're saying we're protecting their herd, where not everybody in the herd needs to be protected.
Exactly.
You know,
How do you determine which
you don't. They just say everybody's the same. But we're not going to tell you because it's too detrimental for the population.
But then the people who are who are like sheep that are observing, or people who are shepherds or whatever, are like, hold up, you're trying to rack me in with all these people who are unaware. That's not fair, because
You mean those of us that speak in code?
because I'm ooh, okay. Or take magic mind.
Yes. yes. No, that makes sense.
It's like truth has been like a big resounding thing in the conversation that we've had today, and it's kind of like, it seems like the truth is being changed by people who seek to not have the truth be out there. People refuse to tell the truth so that the truth doesn't get out there, so that people don't have to feel it or have to acknowledge it or have to deal with it. And then there's people who don't want to know the truth or refuse to know the truth, or if they knew the truth, it would change who they are.
Yes.
Like, it's, truth is this major thing. And it's like, when do we reach a time moving forward where truth, that objective tall T that we were talking about, no longer is an objective tall T, and now everybody's little small subjective T is now what's really important? My truth, my perspective, my, this is my truth. And then that one truth kind of dissipates to the point where there is no real truth anymore.
Agendas disappear, in my opinion, because like not everybody, but a majority of people have an agenda, and sometimes that lets them know how much of the truth to tell or how much of a lie to tell. So when people don't have an agenda about why they're telling you the truth or why they're hiding the truth, then we can all have one common truth. But usually everybody has, again, not everybody, but a majority has their own personal agenda. And so we're always going to have the small truths, not the big truths. Because not everybody is a good person. So
you'd like to believe that people are, though, and people seek to try to be the best that they can be,
Yes. And until like we have a majority good people, and we don't have or we have people that aren't so naive to realize not everybody is a good person, then we're all going to have my truth, his truth, her truth, not just the truth.
Do you want to quote that Alistair song? Malachi Black. No one is truly evil, no one is truly good.
Oh, yeah. His AEW song. Wait, no, or was that just the WWE song?
Probably that one.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
That's definitely the truth.
You know what's crazy?
What?
People always say there's a difference between like good and evil. There's good people that do evil things, and there's evil people that do good things.
Yeah.
I guess I just found this out, but Jesus said there's two types of people. There are prideful and humble. Those are the only two differences. And I was like, ooh, that doesn't say good and that doesn't say bad. So stay humble, my friends. Sounds like a Dos Equis commercial.
I was just thinking.
I'll edit that
But
out.
I can agree.
They're not a sponsor.
Because, there are times I'm in situations where I find myself being prideful.
Dude.
And I found myself humbled, and I'm like, let me just go in this corner and shut up. Because I thought I knew best, and I did not.
It kind of feels good when you get to a point where you get humble, because, like, I don't know about, like, me personally, I've been a person who's been extremely prideful in my life before, and I got humbled to a point where there was no turning back into being that person anymore.
Yes.
And it's like, once this has happened to you and now you realize that you lived a life of pride, now it's time to start trying to be who you truly are supposed to be.
Yes.
Well, do you want to jump into the trivia topic?
I kind of wish I found one that was more relatable to what we were talking about.
Thanksgiving? No, I'm just kidding.
But this, in the conspiracy theory trivia game, the truth is out there because the topic is aliens. So, yeah, I kind of found a way to make it relatable, but I wish there was a question that went better with our topic.
Yeah.
Are my contestants ready? COAD, are you prepared?
Yes, sir.
SWANC, are you ready?
Indeed.
Again, the topic is aliens, X-Files, Stoner and Holy. And the question is, what is the code name for the secret fleet of spacecrafts protecting the Earth from an alien invasion? A, Solar Warden. B, the International Space Shield, ISS. C, the Global Wall. D, ET Go Home.
The second.
Yeah, I think B.
I'm sorry, sir. But
Is it the shield?
Solar War.
What?
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Jeez.
See, there goes my pride.
Anyone
Thinking I knew better.
Even though I knew the answer, my mind was going to see the global wall because when we talk about flat Earth, we always read the firmament. And so I was like, oh,
The ice wall. The ice wall.
global wall, ice walls.
Yeah.
So my mind was like, oh, that's it. And then I looked, I was like, oh, that's not it.
No. That's. And then, do you have a thought for the day at all? Do you have any that are like that we can give thanks with, or we could be thankful for?
I actually do that.
I feel like you need a segment. Do you want a segment?
We'll have to think about it moving forward.
Yeah. You do all the editing and everything else.
Ooh, this one, I got two. One about being thankful and then one about being humble.
Ooh, maybe do both.
Okay, we'll do a twofer today.
Twofer.
For those that like the thoughts of intelligence that help guide your lives. The first one is simple. Life has a simple formula. Look back and thank God. Okay. Trust God.
Loved it. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was very good.
And then the second, thought for the duration of the 24 hours. A mistake that makes you humble is better than an achievement that makes you arrogant.
Nice.
Hey, bring that one back around.
Yeah.
Bring that one back around. Bringing it back
But
around.
as I said, I looked and I was like, oh, both of these, he wanted thankful. And then this touched on what you were just talking about. I was like, oh, how do I choose?
Yeah.
How do I choose?
This one,
So it's impossible to be angry, mad, sad, or anxious and be grateful and thankful at the same time. So anytime you get mad at somebody, just think of 3 things that you're grateful for them or thankful that you know them or things. And then that anxiety goes away, the sadness, being mad at somebody, being angry, whatever. Those are just feelings. And that's the other thing about the truth portion of it. A lot of people take their feelings and they think that that's their truth, or they think that that's the truth. But their feelings, their opinions, just like diapers, they change
yes, absolutely.
or need to be changed.
Absolutely.
Need to be changed.
I don't even kids. I just got dogs that pee all over my house. No. Well, yeah, her tail,
I thought they had a hole for
it does, but her tail just sticks straight up and stuff just shoots right out. No, I'm just kidding. You got anything else you want to pass on? TBD?
Wait, repeat what you were saying about, it was something about the feelings.
The feelings?
The feelings.
Your feelings?
And the truth.
Okay, so people's feelings and their emotions are, and like opinions,
Yeah.
they can change, but they'll claim that things are the truth based off of their feelings or their opinions, but they're not. Those can change as well. Does that make sense? You just listen to the podcast again.
Well, I was trying to jar the thought I had back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then the thought stuff.
I know, that's what happens.
Somebody get the compactor button.
You want another one? All right. Swank, you got anything you want to pass or say?
Man, this Magic Mind has got me being extremely introspective this conversation. I'm telling you, I took things from everything everybody said today.
We were so calm and mellow
And
the
it
whole
was,
time. Nobody got loud.
Man,
I feel like there was a point in the podcast where everybody just like monotone and we're just all the same level.
man.
Yeah, because usually we do get
Man,
So we did mellow out. Maybe we need to take one of these before each podcast.
I know I did.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, for sure. Yes, you do.
No, I mean me as
No,
well.
it's
Myself as well.
real. Hey,
But you got anything? You got any thoughts? You got any projects you're working on that you're gonna be releasing
I'm
soon?
working on some stuff.
Nice.
I just, I think it's, I don't know. I think it's about like reflecting on things that I have released, kind of reflecting on myself, and kind of making sure that moving forward, I'm not. I don't know. I don't want to misrepresent anything moving forward, and I kind of think that's where I'm going in terms of like my music stuff.
For
You
sure.
know, I think it's important to kind of also be cool with be cool with like not worrying about other people's opinions about stuff. You know,
Mhm.
I think one thing that was driving me in my quest to want to do a lot of different stuff was kind of to see the reactions of people. And then when people don't respond the way that you hope that they do, or you get responses from other people that aren't the people you want those responses from, then you're kind of like, eh. So for me, it's that's where I'm in. I guess I think I don't know. I miss Chente. I think that sucks. but I definitely hope he's having a great evening this evening with his family and everything. And that's all I got to say, I guess.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
You got anything you want to finish off? Last words for the fans. Last fans for the Morse codes.
Last fans for the Morse codes. Do we have a name for
Beep, 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 beep.
our growing following? Do we have a name for them?
Chente called them
The Cody Crybabies.
Cody's.
Oh, then he called them the Cody Crybabies. I was like, we can't take that from
We're
Cody
in the Cody
Road.
Cave.
Yeah.
And it's out to the Codys.
Okay, I get behind that. And we can call them the Cody Crybabies, because what is he gonna do? Come here and fight me? Well,
Cry
while
about
he's
it?
Here, I'll just go visit his wife.
Oh.
And put it in my OnlyFans. I don't care, Cody.
I'll have to blur that
I
out.
like your dad more than you anyway.
What'd you say?
I like your dad more than you.
Oh, I thought you said we didn't even like your dad anyway. I was like, oh.
Whoa. I
Messed up.
disrespect the American theme. Because we are going through hard times. When you up there eating steak and we down here eating the poached beans, that's hard times, baby. You got holes in the shoes while you getting your shine, that's hard times, baby.
It's Rick Flair. You know what it is, Rick Flair. I'm talking to you.
Cool. Well, yeah. Oh no. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Keep on questioning. Conspiracy of a Dead Man. SWANC. TBD. Theodore Dynamite. Chente, the homie. Our tribal Chente. We acknowledge you. We miss you. We'll see you.
Do we have a divide now? He's our tribal Chinte. He looks like the OTC.
No, he looks like Jacob. I'm just kidding.
The wolf's OTC. So
Yeah. We're good.
I don't know.
We're our own. I
Right.
wonder if somebody just knocked at the door.
We don't have to have two bloodlines.
No.
No, just one.
Just one random one.
Stays one solid bloodline.
I was just going to see us in the corner and see what the winner adopt. I didn't want to be.
Oh boy.
I'm like Rakishi. Oh, y'all do it.
Yeah.
Just make sure somebody shows what they see.
All right, guys. Well, you listen to the podcast. We're done. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Keep on questioning. We out. Deuce.